Here's a question most cat owners already know the answer to. They just won't admit it. Is your cat spoiled? Not in a bad way. Not in a neglectful way. In the way that happens quietly, gradually, over months and years of living with a small, soft creature who has learned, with remarkable precision, exactly how to get everything they want from you. Here's what most cat owners don't realize. A spoiled cat isn't born. They're made.
By you.
By every time you got up at 2 a.m. because they cried. By every meal replacement when they turn their nose up at the first option. By every boundary you set and then immediately abandoned because they looked at you a certain way. And here's the thing, that's not entirely your fault, because cats are extraordinarily good at this. They are, in the most affectionate sense possible, masterful manipulators. And the signs that they've succeeded are both hilarious and completely recognizable. 11 of them. Let's find out exactly where you stand. Segment 1. The food signs. 1. They have a preferred temperature for their food. Not just wet versus dry. Not just one brand over another. The specific temperature at which food must be served, or they will not acknowledge its existence. Room temperature?
Dismissed.
Straight from the fridge? Walked away from immediately. But warmed for exactly 30 seconds in the microwave, tested with your finger, placed on the correct side of the bowl. Suddenly, they're interested. Here's the thing. You trained this. Every time you adjusted the food to meet their preference, you confirmed that preferences get results. You have a food critic living in your home. And you built them yourself. 2. They reject a full bowl because it's not topped up. The bowl is not empty. It is 70% full. There is objectively food in it. And yet, your cat is sitting beside it, staring at you, vocalizing with the energy of someone who has not eaten in 3 days. This is called bowl anxiety among cat owners, the specific behavior where a cat refuses to eat from the sides or bottom of a bowl and demands that fresh food be placed on top. Your cat has decided that only the uppermost layer of food meets their standards. Everything underneath is apparently compromised. 3. They have rejected more foods than they accept. You have a graveyard of cat food tins in your cupboard, brands tried and abandoned, flavors approached with suspicion and dismissed, textures that were fine last month and are now unacceptable for reasons your cat has declined to explain. If you have spent more time researching cat food than you spend researching your own groceries, your cat is spoiled. Lovingly.
Completely.
But spoiled. Segment 2. The behavior signs. 4. They knock things off surfaces while maintaining eye contact. This is where it gets really interesting because this behavior has genuine science behind it. Cats knock objects off surfaces partly out of curiosity and partly because they have learned, through extensive research, that it produces an immediate reaction from you. The eye contact is the tell. They are not accidentally nudging things off the edge. They are watching your face while they do it. They have discovered that this specific action generates attention with a reliability that vocalizing sometimes doesn't. Your cat has run experiments on you, and they have the data. 5. They have a preferred seat, which is always yours. Not the cat bed, not the perfectly positioned window perch you bought specifically for them. Your seat, the exact spot you just vacated. Still warm, now occupied. And when you return and ask them, politely, to move, they look at you with the expression of someone being asked to relocate from their ancestral homeland. 6. They wake you at the same time every morning, earlier than your alarm. Your cat has identified your waking threshold. They know exactly how much stimulation, paw on face, gentle bite on chin, knocking your water glass is required to cross it. And they apply this knowledge daily, with precision, at a time that serves their schedule rather than yours. You have been alarm clocked by an animal that weighs 4 kilograms. And you get up. Every time. 7. They demand acknowledgement when you enter a room. Not food. Not play. Just recognition. Your cat wants to be greeted.
Spoken to.
Have their presence noted. Walk past without acknowledgement and watch what happens. The vocalization that follows is not about need. It is about protocol. You failed to observe the correct arrival procedure, and they are letting you know. Segment 3. The boundary signs. 8. Every rule you set has an exception, and they found it. No cats on the counter, except when you're cooking and they want to supervise. No cats in the bedroom, except at night. No feeding from the table, except that one time, and now it's precedent. Here's what most owners don't realize. Cats don't understand inconsistency as flexibility. They understand it as negotiable rules. And negotiable rules, to a cat, are not rules at all. They are opening positions. 9. They have staff. Not an owner. Staff. You open doors on request. You adjust the temperature of their food. You move so they can have the warm spot. You narrate your activities to them as you move through the house. At some point, the relationship dynamic shifted, quietly, without announcement, and you are only now fully aware of which direction they shifted in. 10. They interrupt your work with a confidence that suggests they don't know what a meeting is. Laptop open. Video call in progress. Important document being drafted. Your cat approaches, assesses the situation, and sits directly on the keyboard. Or in front of the camera, with the calm authority of someone who has determined that what you are doing is less important than what they need right now. They are not wrong in their view, and somewhere deep down you agree with them. 11. You rearrange your life around their schedule without noticing. You time your grocery runs around their feeding schedule. You choose which side of the bed to sleep on based on where they've settled. You cancel plans occasionally because they seem like they want company. This is the final sign and the most telling one. Not because it's a problem, but because it means the spoiling has gone so deep that it no longer feels like accommodation. It just feels like Tuesday. Actionable takeaways. Here's the honest truth about spoiled cats, and it might surprise you. A spoiled cat is almost always a deeply bonded cat. The behaviors on this list are not signs of a broken relationship. They are signs of a relationship so close that your cat has complete confidence in your responsiveness. They know you will get up. They know you will adjust the food. They know you will move. Because you always do. Because you love them. The only spoiled cat behaviors worth gently correcting are ones that affect their health: food rejection that leads to inadequate nutrition, sleep disruption that affects your functioning, attention demands that create anxiety in them when unmet. Everything else? Honestly, lean into it. You have a cat who trusts you completely, communicates confidently, and has made themselves entirely at home in your life. That's not spoiled. That's exactly what a well-loved cat looks like. Here's what 11 signs add up to. A cat who knocks your things off the counter while staring at you, who rejects their food based on temperature, who has claimed your seat, your schedule, and possibly your half of the bed. They didn't become this way despite your love. They became this way because of it. Every indulgence you gave them was a message received. Asterisk, you matter here. Your preferences matter. You are safe enough to have standards. That is not a spoiled cat. That is a cat who knows exactly how loved they are. And honestly, isn't that the whole point? How many of these 11 does your cat do? Drop your number in the comments and tell me the most unhinged spoiled cat behavior yours has ever pulled. I read every single one, and these stories are always the best part of my week. If you made it this far, you understand something most people never will. Cats aren't just pets. They're complex, emotional, intelligent beings. Tap the video on your screen to keep learning the secret language of cats. And subscribe to Cat Class, because understanding your cat changes everything.